Hey guys, and welcome to episode 12. Today is a horrible day on Forgecraft, as you can see. We have Soaryn and Cuts on, although I'm not on TeamSpeak with them. But today I was thinking we're going to tackle a couple of things that I don't normally do, and that's starting out with a mod. Or rather, in the case of Blood Magic, we're going to set up what I had already done very quickly. And decide where we're going to build that. It's going to require some terraforming. I have picked out a spot, but we're not going to do the terraforming today. We're just going to set up the blood magic ritual. So blood, no, blood. 2, 3, 4. Glow. 2, 3, 4. And not sure. It's the one thing about this system, I can't tell how much of anything I really have. See, I only have like 32 cobblestone. I have plenty of andesite though, so let's make this thing out of andesite. For now, I'll change up what the blocks are actually made of. This is just so that it functions. So we'll take that stuff. Now I've got runes of sacrifice and self-sacrifice, but we're actually going to go down the self-sacrifice route because, as I mentioned in a previous episode, Way of Time has set up a new mechanic to make self-sacrifice viable throughout the late game. I'm going to get stuck on this door a lot, aren't I? There we go. So we will be replacing those eventually. But I wanted to put the blood altar over here somewhere. Oh, king slime somewhere around here. We may be able to get a miniature yellow heart before we set up the altar. Might actually do that. No, he's back this way somewhere. There he is. There you go, I'm doing 2-hit big king slime. And there's the miniature yellow heart. So we'll just make sure we clear these guys out so they don't get me. The reason I did more than 50 hearts of damage, remember, is because I have Pounce, Wrath, and Sharpness on this sword. Or rather, I have Pounce, which multiplies Wrath and Sharpness. And I really don't want any blue slime. But now I have a yellow miniature heart, that's great. Future-proofing. So where was I? I was going to put the altar... I kind of have to face the direction... Yeah, I was going to put the altar somewhere around here. And I guess we'll just start with putting it like... Because I want it out in the open this time, I think. Because of the way that we're doing the altar, it's kind of a good altar. As good as you can get with blood magic anyway. I'll show you what I mean once I can actually get this thing built. No. So then we come down 1 and out 1. Like that. Five. Yep. Two, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Cool. So that's the self-sacrifice done. Although this doesn't count as a tier 3 altar yet because I need to put the glowstone on. But we're going to put the next layer on first. And that goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Nope. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've built many an altar. I hope I get this right, because that would be embarrassing. Cool. So it's the 3 in the corners that don't count, although I shouldn't have done that because I need a basis for the pillars in the corner of these. Don't need all of it though. So with the blood altar, if you've never seen a blood altar built, you can make, it's got pillars in the corners. The runes have to be laid out exactly like this. They can be any combination of runes, but they must be blood magic rune blocks of some kind. But then in the corners of tier 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, there's different corner dressing, and they can be made out of literally anything as long as the capstone on them is correct. And I think it's 3 and then glowstone. So we're about to find out. Put the glowstone on, and the way we find out is in my bag. I should have a divination sigil. And I do. No, you're still tier 2, so I think I went up 1 too high. If we're lucky, we'll get all the glowstone back, but I should actually be using... No, I'm not. I should actually be using a Silk Touch pick for this, but that's okay. It's a short trip back to the base. So the reason why I put the altar all the way out there is because, you know, through the course of the series I plan on moving the kind of village slash town slash whatever in that direction. And the blood magic altar is so huge that I'm making it kind of a centerpiece. So I'm planning out its area in advance. Glow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I should have been wise about this because I think the glowstone is on the Y level only 1 higher than the altar itself. So it's actually 2, not 3. There we go, tier 3. And on the other hand, the bloodstone, which I'm about to put on, is 1 higher than the glowstone. And this is the most bare bones altar that you can possibly make. In fact, once I put these on, I'll show you what the actual bare bones altar of this size is. You can take off these bits of the pillars. The blocks that are horizontally aligned with the runes at the tier that they belong to. And I'm doing that just so that you get to see what blocks actually count. So these are the blocks that must exist. You'll see I've got tier 4 now. And this is what I had on the shore before I started the series, and then took it all down and put in the boxes. So if you want to see the boxes, go back to episode 1. So this is a bare bones tier 4 altar. It is made up of exactly the minimum amount of blocks. And these andesite blocks can be literally anything, but they must be the same thing. Because if I swapped out, say... Wait. Alright. If I swapped out, say, this now would be tier 3. Oh, it's still tier 4. Okay, I guess Way of Time has upgraded that. They used to the pillars used to have to be the the same type as each other. But I guess now they just need to be solid. A solid block of some kind. Which includes like tank blocks from open blocks. So we might do something fun like that later on. I did that in one version of Forgecraft previously, and it was actually very, very useful. So that is the blood altar, and how I need to get blood into it without interacting with our friends, the self-sacrifice runes, is that I use a sacrificial knife. That's the standard way, that's how I do it normally, but we have a new way of doing things now, which makes self-sacrifice viable into the late game, as I mentioned. So I just put this all in the return area. In here we have incense crucibles, and in here we have purifying incense of Burgess and purifying incense of wood ash. And I just need to check something, because last time these needed to be interacted with a hopper. They still do. Okay. That's fine. And we'll make some cool kind of incense hut, and I'll show you why we're going to need an incense hut in the first place in a second. I want hoppers, which I don't have there. I think I might have them in one of the iron chests, though. I do not. Alright, we'll make some hoppers. Chest, oi, what? Click, chest. One, two, three, four. Hopper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4 crucibles, 4 hoppers. I assume Way's gonna make some other way of being able to put incense in the hopper, in the crucibles. In fact, he may have already done that, because I haven't tried one other thing. Yes, I can. Okay, cool. I can put it in manually. Didn't used to be able to do it manually. So, okay, let's do something. Let's go to the blood altar. And I'm going to set up, I guess up here is better place than any. If we put these crucibles down, right? We've got 4 of them, but I only have 2 types of incense. The way that this works in sense, is that how you spell it? C, incense. You have 5 levels of incense. I currently can only make 2 because of the type of orb that I have available to me. The lowest one is apprentice. So the next one up requires, at its lowest, I think, master. Magicians, and I don't have a magician's orb yet. But as you can see, they all require wood ash, and wood ash is the very first kind of ash. These are all mundane materials, so that you don't have to spend blood to make it in the first place. But the wood ash requires 8 wood logs and a piece of charcoal. Must be charcoal, so you need to also burn some logs. Wood ash and red powder, redstone and leaves makes byrus, which is the second tier of incense, and each of these incense types that you apply to yourself, and I'll show you how to apply them, increase the amount of blood that you give the altar by 100%. So in the end, you're increasing it by 500%. Okay, so 200, 300, 400, 500, 600? Sorry, yes, 600%. Because you're obviously giving 100% blood on your first, without any incense whatsoever. And I have 4 of them and only 2 types, because the more crucibles that you have applying incense to yourself of the same type, the faster it'll apply that tier of incense. Now I'm going to keep my knife on my hotbar because I want you to watch it closely. First I'm going to put wood ash in 2 of them. Then I'm going to put byrus in 2 of them. and you'll see what happens is once these two stop burning, these two start burning, and once these turn to white, it means that I've fully charged. And they're still burning. There we go. So now I have 200% and 300% blood to give. It will also use extra hearts that you have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra hearts, and it's going to use 90% of my health total when I do this. So you don't have to click over and over again. It's a one-shot deal, and 90% of your health will go straight into the altar at that 300% rate. Bam. This altar is too small to hold the amount of blood that I can give it. Because if I use my divination sigil now, you'll see that I have 9,880, so it's just under maximum, actually. So what I probably want to do now, because I want to make a magician's blood orb. Magician's. It's a block of gold. And that requires how much? 2,500. So what I want to do now is I want to heal up, or actually I want to make sure that this is at 10,000. And of course, on top of the incense 300%, it's also working with these self-sacrifice runes. So really, if I want to improve things, I need to change these into self-sacrifice as well, right? So it's a majorly compounding effect. Do I have 10,000? Not quite. This is very strange. There we go. Okay. It's at 10,000 now. So now I kind of need to let myself fully heal, and then I need to put more incense in. Although, there it goes. So one incense actually lasts longer than one jab. I wasn't actually aware of that, but now I am. And once you're prepared with the incense, it doesn't wear off. As long as your knife is shiny, you're prepared. So I could go and fill this up again, but what I really want to do is make sure I get back to full health. That includes my 7 extra hearts. Go get that block of gold and put it in there, wait till it gets quite low, and then jab myself again. So let's go do that. Block of gold. Yep. Gold. This is what I love about compacting drawers, by the way. I have access to all kinds of gold at my fingertips. That spatial stuff still messes me up sometimes, though. I turn around to go outside and walk into the storage. That's kind of what I mean. So as you can see, these are just puffing white because the 2 tiers that they have available for me are already done. So we're nearly there. So let's pop you in here. And that's going to sap at the blood quite quickly. Now I'm going to jab myself. Oh! Alright, we're probably going to fail this time because I'm not going to get back there in time. Sorry, Soaryn, I would answer you, but it means I'd have to stop to type. And by fail, I mean the gold blood is going to use up all the blood that's in the altar and start to drain out, which is not a good thing. Although, maybe I can make it. because I already have most of my health back at respawn. So if I'm tricky, come over here. Every second this takes though, it's losing progress. It's on to tier 2. And let's go. Now click once. Oh, I have Soul Fray. Okay, so Way of Time told me about this. Soul Fray, unfortunately, stops me from being able to jab myself, even if I'm prepared by incense. So I actually have to take this block of gold out, and we have to try this all over again. So I'm going to be back once Soul Fray wears off. See you soon. And here we go for try number 2. I will try to remember that lag does not mean I should click a second time and kill myself. So I noticed also when I filled this up again that it did put the full 10,000 in. So there was something up with the altar the first time I did it. And it also gave me 10 seconds of Soul Fray. So you can't do it immediately anyway. So we'll put the gold in, we'll keep watch, and I'll click only once this time. And soon. Alright, now we go back. Need about 5,000 more. As you can see, I've got some Soul Fray. Oh, it's 20 seconds. Whatever's in the altar now should last us until I get my essence back. Okay, we are ready. And you are already out. That's very surprising. But we'll do that, and maybe it'll be enough. If it's not enough, I'll have to work on some more self-sacrifice runes. It certainly isn't. Alright, we've got to try that again. I'll be back once I have some more self-sacrifice runes. In fact, I'll be back once I have the orb. Okay guys, I didn't actually end up needing to make more self-sacrifice runes after all. I was just smart about it and used some potions of regen between jumping to back to the incense. So now we have a Magician's Blood Orb, and why that is awesome is because now we can make runes of augmented capacity, and those allow us to fit more goopy blood stuff into the altar at any one time, which is where the limits of this self-sacrifice system show up, is because you give all the blood that you can all at once, but the altar can only hold 10,000 at a time. So you need to make a balance between self-sacrifice runes and augmented capacity runes so that you can fit as much of the blood that you're actually generating into this as possible at any one time. So basically, in order to get this to work properly, what we'll need to do is basically outfit this with as many augmented capacity runes as we possibly can until the point where we are giving less blood than the capacity of the blood altar, and then cut back on the augmented runes and replace them with self-sacrifice until we find that perfect margin between the two. And that would be the ideal. So, but there's one more thing, and probably what I'm going to do to finish out this episode. So we're going to need 2 more crucibles. And crucibles also are mundane materials, so you don't need blood magic to make them, as you can see. But we want 2 more crucibles, because what we're going to do is we are going to make the 3rd tier of incense, which might seem silly because we should be focusing on augmented capacity, but I just feel like doing it because we've already hit the limit of. No, I can't just pull the crucible out of the system. I actually have to make it. So yeah. that is enough actually. Crucible 1, 2, please. Cool. So now with some wood ash, which we'll just put into the return area because that'll go to the misc drawers, we can see about making this, which we can get away with actually. So I've got that. I know I have all the materials in here. Ah, I don't have all the materials. Actually, I have whatever. Don't have whatever that is. Incense. What are you? Oh, I do have it. It's wood ash. And there was golden string. Gold. That can't be right. Because I think it was all 9. Incense. Glowstone and string. Okay. Glowstone. Let's make 8 of it. Wood ash. I actually need to keep that wood ash on me. So that was silly. Nug. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would just do this by shift clicking the question mark, but it doesn't tend to play well with blood magic recipes, and this is a blood magic recipe. Livens. So now we have 8 livens incense. We want our wood ash, and that can go into this crucible. 8. Now you have disconnected for some reason. Why is that? There we go. Alright, and unfortunately, I believe once we've actually set this up and I've shown it working, that it will be our 30 minutes. So let's just do this. Blam blam. Now these are already done, and I don't think this shows what level it is. I know Way wants to make the knife show what level of incense it's actually on, so that is a feature that's coming. And there we go, we're getting livens. And eventually that'll turn white and it'll be at 400%. So I'm getting 400% of the LP value of 17 hearts plus the bonus from each rune of sacrifice. It's a lot of LP in one jab. But that's the point. It's meant to be comparable to runes of sacrifice. So, thank you all for watching, and next episode, I think what we'll have set up here is I'll have done some augmented runes of capacity. I won't do them on camera because unfortunately these imbued slates take some time to just watch and wait. So we'll have some imbued. I'll have this set up as best as I can at tier 4 that we're currently on, and then we'll start working on tier 5, which should actually be quite easy because I already have beacons as a recipe because EMC is so broken. But that's why people love EMC anyway, so we'll get to tier 5 very, very quickly. Anyway, thank you all for watching and have a good one. Bye bye.